now. Like maybe he's done the math and he says that more damage doesn't actually do more than just getting to shoot more acorn shots, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Because there's also like a lot of gap close on blind now, so it does feel like, I guess it makes you tanky. In that sense, you do get what, like 500 HP from Octarine. It's 500. Sure.
Yeah, 15 armor over the top. It's all right.
Not bad.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Roshan,
it's
20
all right.
seconds for the respawn timer here. So blind Owl will not be blind to that as they try to get this tier 2 and probably will take it.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Level 25 has been achieved on Akari. It's got the Swift Blink, Desolator. This is presumably why they went for the previous fight and where they're gonna group again now. You want to press disadvantage, you want to press your extra refraction instances.
1 minute of Roshan respawn timer here as the Dire scan will probably get a good idea of their position. Smoke breaks. Oh, that's a 2-man center stun from the Doom, but the Bushwhack is on point. Doom actually dies while casting a single spell, and that's the same for the Tiny. All of those auras here allowing IHC to withstand the initiation.
He doomed the Lincolns, didn't he?
I think he did. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even notice.
He-
Oh boy, Akari. If he dies as well, this could be problematic. Does what the hell? He solo kills the Ember, but now you gotta disengage the Hurricane Punch.
They're not letting you get away.
He will be
Oh.
found, but still
I'm wrong.
blinks out because of the talent. What? That hero. Yeah, my hero's nerfed, I heard.
That is, yeah. Nerfed real hard. I mean, her playstyle is really limited though. We've talked about how you can get the Doom to build in pretty much any way that you want. But that TA, there's only one way. And that just needs to do it.
Yeah. And that TA, by surviving, actually stops this high ground siege. But at the same time, it gives IHC a possible way. Just 20 seconds on the Tiny. Is there a chance Blind Owl contest this?
They're not moving like they believe in it themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
Puts them out of contention. Boomy split pushing bot. Do a decent amount of damage to that tower, but the Aegis is going to be in the hands of Fortune Soul again. And versus a Doom, I mean, this is why people pick Wraith King into Doom, right? It's just you only get one of those unless you buy a refresher. And that one is, well, he's not even halfway.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Okay. So, once the Troll gets his 25, he will be able to OT despite the Doom until he is 25. So that is one thing to pay attention.
Yep, but Rapido would need to actually win a fight first if he wants to get his levels.
Fire Remnant, they get the chains. Still looking for the TA, but yep, Ogre Seal Totem on top of it all.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Listen, I'm just happy that Ogre Seal Totem finally got bumped up a row. I thought getting that in 3 was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I still think that getting mobility for free is I don't want to say bad, but questionable. Like, you have to be sure that you want mobility creep in your game.
You know, I thought about this whole Ogre Seal Totem nerf. I'm going to use quotes here because here's my point.
All right.
In the past, only supports, or at least very rarely cores, would keep Ogre Seal Totem because you had a lot to gain with the tier 4s. Nowadays, you're probably going to keep Ogre Seal Totem as a core over some tier 3s at least. So I kind of feel like, sure, it takes longer to get it, but I feel like it's a buff in the sense that it becomes an influence longer during the game. Because, you know, until minute 60, you're still probably holding onto it as Boomy will TP out, it looks like.
Just about. No, I get where you're coming from. I think it definitely... The amount of stats that you're going to be getting from your items and from your levels is just bigger once you're up to this tier. As Fortune Soul, is he about to miss his Aegis?
Okay, gets his BKB off. Still fending the aggression here. They're gonna lose their bird. But if that's all they lose, that's fine. But maybe, just maybe, they want to utilize this Phoenix Death. You just got to be careful with buybacks, and they will respect IHC.
Can't actually come up that high ground yet. Well, at the very least, at this point in the game, the Doom cooldown is pretty much the same as the respawn timer of that Phoenix, so not much of an advantage to be gained here from IHC.
True, they did get the Octarine on the Doom, so it's a pretty fast cooldown. I mean, his refresher is actually not... Is that a full... This is a full refresher on the Doom. Big timing for Blind Owl.
Huh. What'd he sell?
I think it was the Midas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably
Exactly.
the Midas.
Yeah, being able to sell that Midas without... Does that
Any
make
punishment?
the Devil's Bargain worth it in total? I'm not sure.
Yeah. I guess the other facets, you know, the two charges on Devour are probably the more reliable
Yeah, no,
one.
I did the maths on the other one. You get 3.5 more seconds of Doom at 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's pretty late into the game already.
And they nerfed the DPS too with that facet, so it's, you know, how much do you actually get out of it? It's more about the Doom itself than killing people.
I mean, perhaps for like support Doom.
Yeah, you're right.
Zayats has been known to partake, for example.
That is true.
Well, and this is what your
Aegis,
Axe
though,
is
feels
for.
like this Aegis is being totally denied by Blind Owl. They're just making IHC run around the map. They're not really sieging. They're just running around like fools, I want to say. Speaking of fools,
making a fool out of them.
Initiation. Oh, good Lincolns. Rupido actually dooms himself, and now they find Cam by himself. There's no backup. They gotta run away. They're gonna lose the Tiny. I guess it does delay the Aegis a bit more.
A little bit more, but he doesn't have any buyback, and that means that this troll is going to take your last outer tower. I mean,
Yeah, they
surely.
still have one Doom. Blind Owl still willing to fight, apparently.
Yeah, well, they know how split the team is right now.
Oh, side of eyes with the Doom.
Fortune Soul wants to risk it. But, oh, you...
Wait, he has a third Doom? Is that... What? How does... I don't know how he has a third Doom, but he's going for it, and they need to buy 7 seconds. The Uceptor is gonna be maybe enough as the BKB is here. Fortune Soul holding on to dear life as he falls exactly at the perfect timing. Blind Owl, god damn, that was pretty beautiful. But now TA versus 3, and she will BKB TP away. Honestly, pretty classy play. They're gonna lose this man, but it doesn't really matter.
They waited just long enough. I think that is the closest that I've seen. I mean, it doesn't really work out for them in the end. a little bit too much focus on the trees and not on the forest there, perhaps, but that is the closest I've seen a hero die to losing his Aegis on the wrong side.
Yeah, it was very close. They could have definitely maybe missed the mark, and the only reason they also got that kill was that the troll didn't have his ulti, so he couldn't ulti through the Doom there. As at least the troll is dead, so taking this tower takes way more time than he used to, with Timbersaw being universal in the past. Toss back, Avalanche. Alright. Good punish.
Gotta respect the tiny force displacement as strong as it's always been. Yep.
Happy BKB, the damage from the tree. Ooh. Close.
Radiant's courier has been
Way too close for comfort. I mean, at least that's a man with a buyback in his pocket, but you really don't want to spend that on, yeah, we sort of overstayed our welcome.
I'm surprised the win... Okay, so how much do you respect the win probability? Like, out of 10, how accurate would you say it is?
I give it like a 7.
Okay.
Like, it's
That's
a
pretty
solid
decent.
indicator. Like most of the... Because we get an endless number of numbers, actually, on our heads-up display, right? There's so much data on whatever's happening. And I think that they're all of them are decent indicators and decently relevant, but you can't actually let it distract you from what you know as a I mean, then
Yeah,
again,
no,
I
'cause I was
count
gonna
my own
say-
opinion as like 70% as well, so you know.
I was gonna say that it was actually a 70-30, but after everything that unfolded, it is literally 50-50 here. Which, despite Blind now having the gold advantage, which is surprising to me, right? We kind of thought that they had the late game.
We did.
Are scanning.
But it hasn't happened so far. I meant this troll. The fact that just having SNY plus Gleipnir is enough, plus the shard, to be a legit problem this far into the late game. Yeah, his build looks wonky, but he hasn't seemed to have paid for it in DPS yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe production can showcase the build, the wonky build you're talking about, because he has a vice
Yeah.
on his troll. That this build, if you show it to anyone, troll is probably like one of your last 15 guesses. Because I would
Yeah.
never guess troll when I look at this.
Absolutely not. Toss back.
Speaking of him, oh, and they have the Aegis Doom this time, chasing for the troll. That Lotus Orb will protect him, but they're gonna lose the Ember. Does have a buyback, monster kill for the TA. Finally, the OT on Fortune Soul just being kited, getting a lot of heal, by the way, but not enough to survive. It looks like he will fall. Has a buyback. That's the second one. Murana, but buyback, but her TP is so far away.
Kari?
TA tries to hold her ground, but that's a double kill for 11. 2 buybacks on the Radiant, 1 support buyback on Blind Owl. Do you think who this favors, actually?
I mean, it can favor Blind Owl if they get pickoffs here. If, yeah, Ken
Has been killed.
cuts a waiver and does not get caught.
Ooh, he's gonna be fine.
Only
All
just
right, that's
about.
clutch.
And they're guarding the creep wave now. But they're guarding the next one, because Fortune Soul is now all by his lonesome up on the dire side. Great item switch there from the Doom, and this is the kind of creative
Yeah.
thinking that we need to see with the Devil's Bargain, right? It's gone wrong for him, throwing the targeted Doom, the Lotus Orbs getting in the way, the Lincoln Sphere getting in the way. So now with the AoE, and you know what? The bonus for that is that the Ember Spirit also really suffers.
Yeah, he definitely is gonna struggle. Looking at tier 4s here. So
Yes.
that's actually pretty fun. Vindicator's axe on the Phoenix. You don't get to see it, but that extra armor against the TA trap is awesome.
That is pretty funny. That is once again also really creative thinking. I like what everybody's putting in here, but especially the Doom making those 2 Lincoln Spheres. I don't want to say dead weight. You can't sell him. If you sell him,
Yeah.
he sells his Ags.
You missed it.
Yeah. Exactly.
He gets a lot
Ken,
more money
he
back.
was-
Now, don't get Ken there.
Blinks out. Good wards being placed, but instantly removed by Blind Owl. They hold the high ground. Tough fight for IHC to take.
Yeah, they have to back off immediately, especially Kishka being so far out of position. He's the gem carrier here.
Yeah. Definitely important. As he's going for a Bloodthorn on the Hoodwink.
Okay, that's gonna be your DPS item.
Pretty good with the Troll. Wow, that is an interesting build. Who do you benefit having Orchid here? The Mirana has 2 dispels. I guess once the BKBs kind of start running low, you might just benefit from the Bloodthorn a little bit more.
Yeah, just a little bit, but it really...
Dire are
I mean, it feels hard to say that this is a good item for like the raw DPS.
Yeah. Maybe he changes his mind.
Let's see. So far, they're setting up camp around this bottom Roshan.
Yeah. And Roche spawns. It actually spawned on the dire side, but we'll quickly travel to this one. And by now, obviously aware because of the TA pick.
Already on the move. This is it.
Smoke from IHC as well.
Ember
Mirana
guys
is showing
here.
the mid lane.
That's it. Fortune Soul dies here. That's
Okay, they
it. So
find
running
the
in.
Tiny with the Side of Vice. This is huge, but the Doom actually preventing the damage from being done. They're gonna toss this troll, unable to do anything.
That's a dieback.
Will be munched back. That's a dieback on the troll. Looking for the Ember. Are you happy? Also could die back if he doesn't. If he's not careful. Double kill for Akari. They find 11. Looks like the castle is crumbling here. IHC looked so good, but that's a 4 for 1. Oh, that arrow! Did get vision. That's a dead Doom. Dead Ember.
No escape.
That's terrible.
Die back there as well. It is a team wipe, and you can disregard Roshan. Acquire base.
Exactly. TA has 11,000 gold at the moment. Could buy this Moon Shard and still have buyback if she wants to.
Just sitting on it. No
So,
one here.
do you go Throne here, right? Because then you're
Yeah.
not going to reset the glyph? Yeah.
Absolutely, that is exactly the math that you need to be doing here. Don't refresh the glyph. Go straight for the throne. You know you're looking at 2 diebacks. This is all they're gonna get as far as stalling you
Tiny
out.
also has a swift blink, so it is, well, not only they can kill the squirrel, but they can... Oh, that's a tanky squirrel.
Trying desperately to distract their attention, but no such luck.
Yep, GG gets called, and it is going to be, unfortunately, a pretty sad game here for IHC, because even if they take the second game, as far as I'm aware, they're not going to be able to go through, right, Kips?
No, they only need 1 point. So they still have a shot.
Yeah.
They still
Oh.
have a shot, and the first one that came out of the gun was, I gotta say, this got closer than anything Blind Owl has played in this group stage so far.
All right, that's why I have Kips here, so she actually keeps me in check when I am talking out of my butt. But yeah, we had a pretty long game, so hopefully we are going to go to a break and get back with IHC. They have another shot at potentially going to the second stage, potentially qualifying to a LAN. This is huge for them. We're going to be right back.
OneXBet and Eva Alfie present betting on all esports events on the website and in the OneXBet app. OneXBet. Play with Eva. The new OneXBet energy drink. So you don't have to limit yourself tonight with only one victory. You can bet on any game at OneXBet betting company. Dota2, KS2, League of Legends, and many others. Big wins, fast payouts, reliable bookmaker. The new breakthrough and innovative phone with OneXBet app. With OneXBet app, you can register and start betting in just 1 click. Intuitive interface and thousands of sports events every day. User-friendly app. Big wins, fast payouts.
Radiant team.
They definitely played one league because I actually saw like obviously SEA is a very hard region, but
10 seconds
the core of this team has been together for a while, so you can just kind of wonder how hard it is on them to kind of got a little taste of their efforts being recognized and being rewarded, and then you have pretty much the last land of the season, right? With TI along the way. If you don't qualify to this one, you're pretty much gonna have to wait for next season of tournaments.
It is. I mean, we're so late in this season that our LAN is after this season ends.
Yeah, let's pretend it's in the same season because you qualify before TI at least. Yeah.
And you're going to be playing it after.
Looking at the bands here, Tinker and Deuce. Dude, what patch are we in? This is crazy.
5 seconds remaining.
I guess can't really ask if there's anything else out of the ordinary because Tinker Deuce is already like crazy enough.
Yeah, I think the thing that stands out here is that Blind Owl has been consistently banning the Tinker themselves, even though they are the only ones who have played it. And they're just like, no, we believe this pick is imba enough that nobody else is going to get their hands on it either. And well, gotta pick it up right there if you want to play Ebb Morphling versus the Ember Spirit. This is where you gotta take it, otherwise it's going to get banned.
That is cool. I've seen support Morphling. I've seen mid Morphling with Flow. I've seen carry Morphling with Flow. Very curious to see what the approach is going to be. Because, in the past, Morphling was already good against Ember in the lane just because you out-deny him. I wonder what the actual goal is here. If it's just going to be normal EBB Morphling, or if they're going to try and do something a little bit more funky.
Let's see. I've felt like the strength morph hasn't quite been, and this is, I feel like Morphling is balanced around the fact that you can absorb a ton of damage, and you just have significantly less damage to be absorbed if you have less stats to shift around. And I felt like these Morphlings always end up being quite fragile. Especially seeing as that you start on fairly low armor and you go down to nil, and you take a lot of damage from spells, and then afterwards usually the follow-up damage is right clicks and you've already lost a lot of HP. It's not as bad if you had a lot of stats to begin with, but when you don't...
I agree. Like, a lot of the core Morphlings I've seen playing Flow have been very... The power spikes are totally different. That's all I say. Like, especially if you're playing against Ember, having Flow means that if the game goes late enough, it is almost impossible to play. Like, Ember has to go link, and the game becomes very annoying. And kind of is this cat and mouse chase of the Morphling trying to become the Ember. But if you actually get it, it is absurd how strong it is. But in the laning stage, like, the CS is harder because even though you have a lot of damage, you don't have attack speed, you have 0 armor, so all that HP actually doesn't mean that much. I've seen a lot of Morphlings lose the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then you get a good fight and kind of turn it around. I wonder what the read for Blind Out is, if they would, consider Flow, or if they just feel like EBB is more reliable.
It says as well, calling it EBB. As we taught T Panda about the fact that ebb is an old-fashioned word for the low tide yesterday. Were you in the know?
I was. So you say ab? What? Fish, I think, copy paste something about the. Is it about yin yang or something like?
No, it's just the tides, the flood.
Oh, really?
Flood tide and low tide,
ebb
ebb
of
and
the
flow.
tide out to sea. Why? What is even that word? Who invented this?
Ebb? Well, presumably somebody very old-timey, because it's also the Dutch word.
Really?
Yes.
All right, I'm googling this. The receding movement of the tide is this Latin?
No, I'm very sure that this one specifically is Germanic.
Proto-West Germanic. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
That's what I figured.
Okay. So looking at the draft, Clock Hoodwink. So very.
He's on his clock. Kishka on his hoodwink. Everybody, are you happy? Everybody happy with the picks so far?
Yeah, definitely comfort for them. I'm gonna get some vision.
5 seconds.
A lot of areas for the hoodwink to play, right? You have the cog so that the bushwhack lands, you have the chain so that the bushwhack lands. I feel like in general just pick hoodwink because the hero is good, but I feel like she's kind of extra enabled in this game because of the
Yeah.
other picks as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have two heroes that are going to go in forward already as well. I mean, Ember Spirit, of course, as the game goes on, you want to sit on the sides of the fight more, sliding away first, but definitely a couple of lightning rods, a couple of enablers, heroes that will give you vision and give you things to follow up on, which is where Hoodwink really shines.
Yeah. Now, Blind now has 2 picks. You know the mid lane. You're probably flexing this Morphling, so I'm not sure you want to necessarily showcase where the Morphling's going.
Dire team
Yeah, they're gonna have to pick off lane plus support, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Snapfire's still technically a flex pick as well. We do see her on the mid lane or on the off lane from time to time, but you just fall into a hole when your spells are maxed and you don't climb out it again until level 20, and that's just unacceptable for most cores.
5 seconds.
Yeah, and I think it was in a decent place. I kind of felt bad that they nerfed it. They nerfed like the little shredder in this patch because I thought it was in a good spot because as you said,
thought
the
so as well.
20 and 25 talents really kind of forced this hero to be ahead to feel good. But you know, it is what it is. They felt like it was too strong. I mean, Visage pick. That is, huh?
Dire team back.
Definitely unusual.
Are we gonna see the new facet? Maybe the whole you get extra gold from kills based on your charges, right, or something like that.
Yeah, the death toll.
Yeah,
10
not sure if that's good though.
remaining.
I have not seen that one at all.
I don't know either. I felt like the sepulcher was a good boost to your utility in general.
Mm-hmm.
Your split pushing as well. It seems to have a lot of like different dimensions to it, and Death Toll is very one-dimensional.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's kind of bounty hunter-esque, but in general, like if it's not a pub, you're not gonna be like getting tons of kills all the time, and then like you fight and farm pretty slowly.
Radiant team pick.
So they will pick themselves an Ursa boy. Okay-ish matchup against the Beast. Not a terrible matchup against the Morphling.
Choose your hero.
Mid-Morphling.
And that's what you get then, yeah. Mid-morph, Naga Siren. To be fair, this is a Naga Siren with somebody else to make the plays, somebody else to do the high ground sieging for her. All she has to do is enable these heroes by taking over the map. I think that this is a really great Naga pick.
Yeah, the high ground siege might be a problem because it is a flow Morphling, but it yeah,
I
I
currently don't
kind
hear
of.
Bowie anymore.
Oh, you hear me now?
Is that me or is that him?
I think I'm here, but I did DC from the game. I'm not sure if my internet's having
10
problems.
seconds remaining.
You hear me?
5 seconds
Uh,
remaining.
Yeah, I think I'm here, but I also see you. This is so weird. What's happening? Okay, let me.
All right.
Do you hear me?
So
Tips?
All right.
Oh.
As we get connected here.
Hey.
Hello. There you are.
Oh yeah, my Discord.
Mm-hmm. That's police in the background. Discord police. Don't know what he did to cause that, but I'll just keep on looking at this draft here. Now that I'm sure that it's not me and y'all can actually hear me. So, Fortune Soul on the Ursa. Ursa, Ember Spirit. I do really frontliners with this Ember Spirit now, and just in general, a whole lot of frontline to put in front of this Hoodwink. That's going to be a great game for Ace, actually. Swapping things up here, so, promoting Kishka on that Clockwork instead, which is unusual, but I guess that they're avoiding having a double melee lane here, which is something that I've been griping about.
Okay.
Welcome back, Bowie.
Do you hear me,
For
Kips?
battle.
I once again do not hear you.
Let's...
I love winning.
Unfortunate. Let's see if the teams... I'll just continue talking here and production can sort this one out. Well, these two teams move up into the topside river. Clockwork, Kishka, hungry for a level 1 catch. Does get Boomy just about, but immediately places himself under tower with that as well. That is not how you want to start. No pick off for you.
30 seconds to battle.
Everybody else has kept it cool, calm and collected over on the side of Blind Owl. Having to skill up the cookie first though, I mean, not the worst of things, but you would much rather have a Scatter Blast point here, especially seeing as that you are full bore. You want to start securing any range creeps that the Beastmaster axes might not reach.
The battle begins.
Annoying for Boomy. No rune snipe from Are You Happy? Puts us at a... Is that a 3 for 2? 3 for Blind Owl?
I love winning.
Let's see.
That was not your
Bowie, are you back with me?
expectation.
That's enough out of you. Come on, Sprites.
Hello?
Ah, here he is. Hello.
All right. Yeah, I honestly don't know what happened. Like, I just cannot connect on the call on Discord, and all the messages are like...
Alright, well, it's all good. You're here with me now. Nothing really happened apart from Boomy being forced to take Cookie on level 1.
Okay, that's not great, but they do get a kill, and what is the facet on the Visage? He did get Death Toll.
Yep, Death Toll. Yep.
600 gold, minute 1. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Huh.
Creep gold as well. Just a little
So
bit.
he's gonna max mana regen, right? So he can spam his spells as much as he can.
Definitely expected. And yeah, I have no idea if you followed, but we do have a switch up in heroes here with... Of course, in order to avoid double melee or double range lanes, we do have Kishka picking up the Clockwork and Ace going for the Hoodwink instead.
Okay. Alright. It does happen.
From time to time.
Looking at the lanes here. Pretty standard stuff, right? I guess Clock Visage looks pretty strong. You can get a lot of damage eventually. Get your W. Probably, I mean, it's a pretty tough lane, but the Naga can jungle if she starts struggling too much.
I mean, it depends. On the other hand, of course, maybe with the help of the Enchantress, the fact that you're rather good at going through the Gravekeeper's Cloak might just work out for you. The question is, of course, how much interference is Kishka going to run in your attempts at doing that?
Yeah, exactly. Definitely a lane where if a support rotates, you can struggle a little bit.
Then on top, Boomy dies, but it is costing Fortune Soul a lot of his HP really early on in the lane.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like Ursa in general used to be a pretty hard matchup against Beast because of the attack speed is low. It would get kited, but Rapido actually ignoring the boar so far. So I think if you don't get at least one level, you probably ignore it fully.
Yeah, and the Ursa is, well, I wanted to say nearly over the hill, but actually takes the overpower instead of second point in the Fury swipes to go for this attempted kill.
First assumption, can they get another one? They're stacking up the charges, no vision.
Was that an
Did he kill the
assumption?
Naga, right? I think he... Dude, he's so...
Yeah,
what is his
he
net
casted
worth
it
right
3
now?
times.
He is by far the highest net worth, 11.
Huh.
He
Yeah,
has
that must have been a sole
5
assumption
mana
to him.
region, minute 3, because he has double Nutalis, Ring of Basi, and he's going Arcane Boots. It's just a
Yeah,
mana
of
drain.
Turning mana into gold here.
Yeah. The new Alchemist. 11.
This is what you get though. No Gravekeeper's Cloak for the Naga to go through at all yet, and if Kishka is not on point with those cogs, that's it for you.
Yeah, this real win is pretty annoying. I haven't seen any Naga ever since you have this channel thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't want to say that she gets 2 disables, but it's 2 disables, isn't it?
Yeah. Pretty much his mid lane. Is
On
this a
Friday.
solo kill? Are you happy? So close. Should be fine.
Not close enough, I don't think.
Waveforming 5. Well, okay, they do
on the
lose
top
the
side.
snap and the hoodwink here. Fortune so fighting a Rapido. Can you slow
now the
down?
core's up.
Yeah. Gotta be careful.
Radiant are scanning.
A lot of brawling on these lanes. In the top lane was kind of expected. Anytime a Snapfire is involved, you're gonna get kills. And with the Beastmaster naturally pushing those waves, the Hoodwink's going to get a bunch of counter opportunities, and now Grims is here.
Fortune so with the Cookie and the Centaur. Nicely done. No level 6 just yet. I mean, he's level 4 on the Ursa. So... Time for the runes here.
Yes,
Both sides really want the runes, but no bottle on this Morphling. So I guess, are you happy? Probably wants it even more. Nice deny from the Naga, bro.
Yeah, great micro there.
Yeah.
Sour note indeed, and Ember Spirit now, empty bottle, well, going to get the refill with the bounty here, but definitely lost the lane to that Morphling, who's off to a great start now. But as we discussed during the draft, he kind of does also need it. The flow Morphlings usually struggling in the mid game because of their, their tankiness problems. And the build not really, it doesn't really involve any HP either, or any sort of defensive capabilities.
Yeah, it's really weird, because you have to initiate the fight on Agi.
Oh my goodness.
Wait. Kershka. Still alive. Right click is not enough to
Double
get
5
the
on Grims.
kill. Oh, he gets the kill. Double kill for the Naga.
The Ember Spirit maybe hoping that they could get a kill there to start off the engagement, get him to level 6 and then follow up, but
Dire's structures are fortified.
instead that's just the bot lane going down fully. And the Ember Spirit's still not at 6, his tower's taking damage.
Yeah, that is really bad. Catapult there. A quarter, maybe a third of the HP already done. As there's no way you're catching this Morphling.
No, and it feels like IHC have taken a trip on the struggle bus. Top lane, not their way. Couldn't brawl their way through that Beastmaster with the Ursa, so he's already on the back foot. Bot lane started off alright, definitely a lot of extra gold into the pockets of that Visage, but the amount of counter kills have
Grims
made the Naga just as big.
Just explodes to Ace here. Level 5 on the Hoodwink already. And now they're going for a Kari
Naga,
as
she's
well.
low.
Good. Cog's chain's actually off the mark, but might not matter.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Good counter kills here by IHC. They definitely need those in the beginning.
They-
You know, my point about the flow Morphling is that you have to join low HP.
Bottom tower
Yes.
so you can get your morphling, right? So it's, I think the mid game is tough because suddenly you're walking 300 HP into a fight to try and like become an important hero, and I think that's why I've seen more and more morphlings going for Aetherlands before the Octarine, because it definitely helps in that regard at least.
Yeah, I like that adaptation as well. That's something that seems quite necessary. As in the meantime, bottom tower falls to that visage.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
That feels really good. Nagas aren't dying exactly at the time where that visage is going to hit 6. The familiars are up. You naturally waltz on through.
Oh, Ace being chased down here in the top lane, and they even roar for that. Okay, that's Squirrel said, "Can he get the deny?" No, he doesn't. He never gets sold.
What a
Just
shame.
this sharpshooter plays. Into being bounced somewhere.
Oh, very, very clever. I like it. And it would have worked too if the Hawk hadn't aggroed onto Roshan for some darn reason earlier. That thing aggroes on everything, pulls aggro from everything. It's ridiculous.
11 here will be able to disengage from this Blind Out heroes, and what seemed like a pretty good start for Blind Owl is now being kind of stopped by IHC.
Yeah, unusual. I didn't think that they necessarily had to let that lead go anymore, but with the Morphling just not rotating, the level 6 being hit on the side lane, doing more.
Yeah, like
for
when you
IHC.
look at Blind Out, they are very slow draft. You have this Morphling that even when he's flow is not a fast hero. You have Beastmaster, just they have gigantic stacks on the left side, by the way. I'm not sure if production showed, but you had like 4 on the left engine. You had probably 4 on the triangle too, but so far they're worried about this Enchantress. That's gonna be another kill for
It's the
IHC.
third time I've seen Grims just keel over off screen. Overprotective Wisps not been taken this time. We've got the Spellbound. That might be why he feels a lot more fragile than he usually does.
Oh, mid lane. Oh, that's a tanky Morphling against Magical. He will be safe. But you're right. It doesn't even seem that good of a Spellbound game, right? Like, why are you actually right-clicking? Not the Ursa. I guess maybe the Ember in the fights.
Probably not. At some point, ENG can click anybody and it's fine. Like the impetus, the pure damage. But it feels greedy. Definitely in a game where, well,
Yeah.
as we said, this is a lineup that is slow to get going. The Naga wants other people to make the plays.
Ace gets
Beastmaster wants his Axe first.
Okay. Chains will be forcing them out. They really want to utilize this Visager to get the mid tower. But as you said, this Beastmaster just caring about the stacks on the left side. And if you delay this tower, but you allow the Beastmaster to get all of the stacks, you're probably happy, as they even use the kisses to zone IHC away.
Yeah, make him get a new creep wave at least.
Oh, waveform forward. Can. Very low, but gets the Slide of Fist off. Became that Ember he so much wanted. Waveform forward. Doesn't get the Slide of Fist, though. Kishka with the hook shot away. Should survive, or never mind. He gets the Light Chains. Gets the kill, and we start to see why this Morphling is picked so often into an Ember. He might have overextended, though, as he tries to die all these illusions and birds. Ember, I mean, this cooldowns, it's still only level 10 and it's already so crazy. The song should set up for a, a little bit off the mark. Another remnant, and that's it.
As far as Blind Owl is concerned, though, they don't care too much that he got away. All that matters
Yeah.
is that they kept their mid tower while the Beastmaster was farming all those stacks. That was the one window that you could have had to get something out of the absence of the Beastmaster, either contest his stacks to stop him off fully, or, you know, take the lesser option but take the middle tower away from him. Now you did neither, and his Aghanims is flying in.
Dude, he literally never moved. He stacked for himself twice as the fight was happening, and he's gonna farm all of the triangle again. Like, he is the happiest man alive.
No, this is what I love about the collective understanding of the game, right? It's much more a relay race now, where people understand that just because somebody is the position 1, it doesn't mean that they're the position 1 right now. Rupido, ostensibly position 3 in this game, definitely position 1 until he gets at Aghanim Scepter. And then he can start making and buying space for the position 1s after him.
I guess one thing we didn't mention is Fortune So has been that position 1 for IHC. He finished his Battle Fury, now is on the way to the Blink Dagger. But, you know, considering how greedy of lineup Lineout has, the fact they're taking this tower now already speaks a lot as Rupido gets found with dead eggs. Oh, is he just dead out of this? He is.
Yeah. You will not be banging the drum and out of follow-up.
The kisses
Great
here,
find.
Boomy will jump out. One Visage little bump, and that's another. So Ace gets a double kill. Ace is 4, 3, and 5. What a... For a position 5 Hoodwink, he's having a really good game.
It's fantastic. I imagine most of those kills are Grims.
Yeah.
Imagine there. An immediate fast rotation to bot as well, trying to see if they can catch Akari while he's aiming for that bottom tower.
And the Dire
Scan?
Scan almost off the mark there. Yeah, very close.
Bottom tower is under attack.
We'll only clip the illusions though.
IHC, some ups and downs, but made it out of a tricky part of the game successfully. Then again, Blind Owl, they were playing the slower lineup here. The Naga needs some time to get online. Ideally needs somebody to take down some towers for her so that she can really start working her magic with the creep waves. And that mid tower and top tower are now down. So the conditions for her to have a good game have already been achieved.
Yeah, that's pretty true. They're going to get another smoke going here for IHC. Gonna find a can in the mid lane. Smoke breaks. But nothing.
Really don't want Boomy. It's pointedly ignored.
Poor
Just
grandma.
shooting at them and everything. Ace is just like, no, don't want your cookies.
I want your cookies. We don't fight grandmas.
Not coming to church this Sunday. Stop bothering me about it. If you want any more Christmas cards.
Oh,
Waveform
poor
in.
grandma. All she wants is company and gets nothing. Okay, they're gonna get a go. All right, that's a dead Morphling. What about Boomy? Can the grandma
Another
survive?
bonus kill.
Now they want the cookies and they want the inheritance as well.
Yep. I mean, not claimed though. That was not a soul assumption kill.
True, true. I wish we had a stat. It could maybe like be a stack on the Visage so you know how much gold you get. Because I don't know where to place this facet. I'm still
No.
not sure if I'm convinced. In the lane, it definitely gave him a lot of gold though. As the end.
And the fact that you get it so. Right, hold it.
Wait, is this song even worth it? Do you really want to fight? You don't
Backup is
have
here, but
a lot of heroes. Rupido with the roar, but that's an ult at Ursa. He's just gonna get out of there anyways. Boomy's still alive as they get the chains going. And this Morphling from Can, he is ready to be the actual Ember Spirit as they get 3 kills. Great baits from Blind Owl, and that's gonna make it 4, possibly 5 if they can get 11
It's
and
gonna
do
be a
these
wipe, yeah.
chains. They're not gonna stop. Waveform and chains and sleight of fist and waveform. Flow Morphling is it's a hero. That's all I say.
yeah, and the hero that he is Ember Spirit.
60% cooldown reduction with no Octarine. That is oh
great hero without cooldowns, Ember Spirit.
yeah, I heard his balance around having cooldowns that make sense. Yes.
Hey, you know who would make a really good hero without any cooldowns whatsoever? Void Spirit.
Yeah, unfortunately, cannot steal the OT. That's
Yeah,
the only
that's
thing
the real
keeping.
kicker. This is where you
Yeah.
really want that cooldown reduction, but no.
What else?
No, no, no,
What
no.
else? Because I always see this Ember into Morphling thing. What other heroes maybe low key, very good for Morphling to play? It has to be something that doesn't have burst damage, but has low cooldown
Mhm.
skills for the Morphling to benefit from.
I mean, I've seen
Maybe
on
Timber.
occasion something. Yeah, it was a Jakiro actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that is crazy good for sure.
Yeah,
Do you actually
that
get
is some
Twisted
solid
Chakram
DPS.
if you were Morphling into Timber?
Mm, I don't know. I have
Because it's an
never
OT,
played
but
it.
it's not
But
really his only OT. Hmm. Willow is probably very good too, right?
yeah, classic,
Uh,
very classic.
OD, OD with Infinite
Oh,
Astral. That would be cool.
that is pretty nice. How about Leshrac?
Oh, Edict, double Edict
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
Edict facet that apparently is about to become good. Misanthropy.
About to become good. What do you mean? Is it not good yet? Is it only good when it has been deemed to be good?
Yeah, I guess it is what it is, right? I can say whatever I want, but if Quinn is not owning with it, I am just a
Oh
lunatic.
yeah,
I am just an
that is
analyst.
true.
Shouldn't be saying things. Thankfully, I'm not the
Mhm.
analyst today, so I can say whatever I want. I can sound dumb, and it's on you to make me sound less dumb.
Tough task you given me.
Well, that's why I like working with you. I know you're talented. You're gonna find a way.
I mean, I've said some like with mechanics. Sometimes I say some pretty 2K stuff sometimes, and then I just shut up and I try to see into the matrix, and I instead talk about what's going to happen 20 minutes from now, and that usually goes a lot better.
Like in the past, I was very, very scared of the whole mechanics. I was always studying things and like
Mhm.
learning every little thing, single detail. I feel like we now reached a point where collectively we kind of pretend it
Yeah.
doesn't matter because it's like they're making this game so hard, so hard. Like you have so many things. Like
That's true.
even even though they try really hard to simplify the game gets complex in different ways at the same time. So I'm like,
They're
yeah,
making it
sure, I
wider
might get
instead
some
of deeper.
mechanics wrong. It's okay.
Yeah. No, the point where I'm at is that I think it's getting pretty hard for a lot of the talent to keep up, like by playing enough, watching enough, etc., etc. That I feel like a lot of people are starting to lean on what's in the UI too much, talking about the gold lead, explaining
Mhm.
what happens after it happened instead of
Yeah.
predicting where the game is going to go, because there is just so much that it's easier to wait until one of the paths gets chosen rather than you having to explain the entire tree.
Yeah. And yeah, it's tough. Like I totally agree. At the same time, though, the game is so fast that it, um,
Yeah, you have to pick.
especially if it's a dual cast, right? Like you want both people to be talking. Like, how do you explain something well, fast enough, without kind of detracting from what's happening? Dota
Yeah,
is a hard game to cast for sure.
absolutely. I mean, it's a little bit like I've compared it to taking math exams in the especially like the mental strain when you're not used to it yet. But it it does have to be said that you're taking open book exams. And for the viewers out there, if you
Hmm.
ever hear like your favorite, especially your favorite analysts, and this happens more often to the pro ones that come in as well, if you ever hear them just be behind on everything and it doesn't really look like they know what they're on about this time, you're wondering what has gotten into them. It might just be that they're casting off a feed and they're taking the open book
Yeah.
exam without the book. They can't click on everything to put the entire network of options together in their head. It's ridiculously hard. without being able to actually interact with the game.
Yeah, that's true. I love that you said that because, there's so many games where I think like 99% of the viewers don't know how it works, right? That sometimes you have a feed, sometimes you're in the game, sometimes you're observing. I think nowadays, less and less, the casters are actually not observing. So that also does make things complicated because sometimes like you have an observer that doesn't speak the caster's language, or he's observing for
Yeah.
two different languages at the same time. There's a lot that goes into it.
hmm And certainly you can adapt as a caster to that as well, like making sure that you talk about what's currently happening on the screen. But that I think that is harder for the play-by-plays when you're trying to shape a narrative, and it's like doing the voiceovers for for a movie in a different language, and it's just like, and now they're gonna go into the kitchen, shot pans to outside. Oh,
And now they're going to eat. Wait, what is this? I don't know what this is. I'll say it's a chocolate cake, but it could be anything. Finally, the pause is over. Looks like our problems were solved here. We were at the Roshan part, and I guess
the
this is a
Beastmaster
Roche.
Roshan part.
Yeah, the
Hey,
classic.
This is where SVG would have already been going yada yada yada. You do the stacks, then you do the Roshan. Blah, blah, blah. Can we change the channel?
Dire's top
Yeah, what a world we live in, right? Roshan, Beastmaster can solo. Like he was low HP there. They needed 3 heroes, but you can literally solo kill Roche with Beast. That's. I hope something changes in that regard.
Yeah.
That's all I say.
And I can't believe I'm saying that about my favorite guy, but they've changed him a lot. He's not the fact that he's not a vision engine anymore definitely bothers me a bit. I like that strategic aspect of him, and now he's definitely overdoing it a bit.
Yeah, I get it. The old, especially at the highest level, that Beastmaster was very good. Maybe it alienated low MR players as well because you don't get that much benefit from the Hawk. But I definitely, I honestly, I don't even mind this new Hawk. I think it's fun. It just bounces into people. It's fun.
Yeah.
But the way that the eggs works with Roshan, I think that is a bit too much. I feel like that's the only thing that makes this hero viable almost.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, because otherwise you're investing a lot of money into an item that's not guaranteed going to pay off for you.
Yeah, especially in this game where it looks like IHC are slowly but surely being, let's say, pushed into their side of the map here. The Aegis not taken out. They didn't get to kill Akari. In fact, he already has an Orchid here on this Naga Siren.
Is under attack.
This means that he is officially a kill threat now, and you can really start playing forward with Naga Siren once you have the Orchid. It's because any single hero that's coming to interfere with you can and will die, or you've got yourself one hero that you can silence and you TP out from under him, depending, and you don't even have to spend the Song of the Siren.
Oh, Kiss is here, looking for Kishka. They will... Oh, good pipe, actually, baiting them a little bit. The Morphling just dies, and that is exactly what we talked about in the draft. This hero, sometimes he goes in... Yeah, it's just a weird hero, bro. You go in with 500 HP, trying to become the Ember, and you die before you even cast Morph.
Yep. And that's definitely, now with the Greaves also up, but the pipe previously already, this Visage is gonna make it real hard for Blind Owl to take anybody down in a normal amount of time. The fights are always gonna go long, and that's where Visage thrives. To be fair, that's also where the Beastmaster thrives, but Beastmaster was sure not appearing in this fight.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Beastmaster kind of taking a different approach, going Dagon instead of the standard BKB that you usually see. I guess
That is...
no.
Isn't he flying the BKB in right now? Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
He's just,
That's
he's got
BKB
it, man.
plus.
He's thick.
Oh my god.
He's
yeah,
the whole bakery.
Tower is under attack.
It is a
Full of
plus
dough.
size model for sure here. Because they're looking for Ace. he is orked it up. I think he's actually dead. The soul burn damage is gonna hurt, but not enough.
And are you happy?
You are kind of forcing IHC to do whatever you want, and the Naga is getting farm at the same time. Into a matchup. How do you read this matchup? It's been a very long since I've seen Ursa versus Naga. It's supposed to be Naga favored, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be Naga favorite, but I think that has to do with the way the game is supposed to go. And right now, they have burnt a 3k gold lead on Blind All so far. They were ahead, and IHC has simply kept up in farm. I feel like this Beastmaster, by not playing active enough before his BKB, kind of got in the way of the Naga and played in the space where she wanted to be.
This definitely makes sense here, as they are trying to approach this fight, but now the Morphling with a little bit less cooldown reduction, just because he felt, dude, he has an Arcane Rune. This is the fight. This is the fight for Ken. If he can actually become the Ember with this Arcane Rune.
We're smoked.
Radiant are scanning.
Decent pace on his BKB here, but
Smoke breaks.
not quite there yet. It's a risky fight for him.
To get some vision. Rupido gets the roar. Do they have the burst damage? Hookshot trying to buy time. The auras are all there, so Ken will live, looking for those chains, and he finds it. Song of the Siren, buying some time. They ping the Ember, they get the root, they get the Orchid. That is a dead Are You Happy? Has the buyback though with the Ram, and he's going to be instantly back into this fight. Rupido doesn't have the Aegis anymore, and he will not be able to survive the onslaught of IHC, but 1-for-1 as Ken gets jumped. He has a couple of spells. Can he? Nope. He will be killed before the root is over. And Blind Owl. Surprisingly, I guess the buyback on the Ember is costly. So they are now ahead.
Costly,
in
but
gold.
worth
They
it.
also killed the Claw.
Fortune Soul's in.
Soul. Oh, look at those.
Right, maybe into deep.
statuses. Naga still alive,
Very
trying
isolated.
to hold her ground. The key is available here. This is a very low HP Ursa. Can they get that kill? No, they can't. And in fact, they lose Boomy. This Naga fighting two heroes and birds. I don't think she's going to be able to survive. And somehow 11 gets a double kill. Maybe make it 3 if you want to dive. But they've had enough.
Visage in long fights, man. Visage in long fights. 6,000 damage deal, dealt. 6.5 actually. The only one who dealt more was Ember, but he needed 2 lives to do that with. And the Visage,
Yeah.
these auras really empowering his team to just stand around him, group up, not be afraid of the constant slides coming in from that Morphling.
And now he got the 15 talent. So those assumptions are going to be doing way more damage. I was impressed. 11 when they were able to protect. I don't even remember who got initiated. I think it was the clock, maybe. They got the pipe and the greaves, and it was really hard for Blind Out to commit. And then the fight lasted, I don't know, 2 minutes.
Yeah, and most importantly, the Beastmaster dying first on the side of Blind Owl, so you don't have your long fight Andy spamming out his axes at the same time.
Very true. Morphling did some decent damage. Still feels like he's not exactly at the point he wants to be. And I'm also assuming this Lincoln's on the Ember. It's going to make it harder for him to get that form in the next fights. I guess if you're not becoming the Ember, what's your second option on IHC for the Morphling to become?
Do you go Visage
Hoodwink,
then?
maybe?
Hoodwink?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I would say Hoodwink if you were an Agi morph, right? And you had damage items. But since you have spell items, I don't think that the Acorn Shot does enough for you.
True.
I think you start spamming Soul Assumptions yourself.
I mean, it's pretty good. It's already a 4-second cooldown. It's probably going to be like 2 and maybe even less than 2 with the Octarine.
Oh yeah, and you've got 1,500 mana to empty out.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Big load for the Morphling to unpack, as they will get the mid-tier 1 tower. Blind Owl finally getting the first tier 2 of the game, with Roshan pretty much spawning. So Do you think they have the map control to just get into the Roche pit if they want to, or IHC, are they in a point where they can contest this?
I mean, they haven't really touched the bottom side of the map yet at all. That is also where IHC has their vision placed currently, so taking the Roche right now would be your best option. If you wait any longer and it goes towards the bot side, I think you're actually wasting an opportunity.
Yeah, it definitely looks that way. The Blowthorn is not up for Naga, so they kind of roll slowly on the side of Blind. Now, this is not an edgy Morphling. I wonder what the plan is here, as they are setting up for 11.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Kind of baiting the Visage
See.
here.
The game plan for Blind Owl is fairly one-dimensional, right? Anytime they fight, what they want to do is get a roar on the Ember so that the Morphling can go in and nab his form without facing immediate retaliation. That's how they did the previous two fights.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal until the Lincoln Sphere gets finished, which is very far away right now for Are You Happy? And finally, they're gonna go to the pit. They have this very strong Naga ready to roll. Missiles there. Do you smoke here? Like, is IHC afraid of giving this Roche away?
Is it makeable here? I don't think there's any... the Morphling is actually a good Aegis carrier, never mind. But they are going to give it to Rupido.
Okay.
The last fight did not manage to make too much use of it. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm surprised, because, it's not even about Blind Owl having the Aegis. As you said, they have okay Aegis carriers, but nothing that's amazing. It's more about, I think, it being denied from the Ursa, at least from, like, my previous understanding of this
That
hero.
is...
You rely a lot on that item.
You do. No, you're going to go in hard versus a lineup that has a lot of sustain, a lot of ways to kite you. The Ursa would have loved to have the Aegis in his paws right now. And I think that the choice of giving the Aegis to Rupido here is because if this ends up in a siege scenario and not in a fight scenario, then the Beastmaster is the hero that you would want it on.
Yeah, he's farming a lot on that beast. He's going straight up Shivas, which I guess helps a little bit with the auras. The healing is going to be diminished.
The attack speed slow for Ursa, it's a problem, and for 11, at some point he's going to be annoyed with that as well, because he is transitioning into more of a DPS build here. Has the Gleipnir up right now. Going to get the Agony
way,
Shard.
Are my graphs awful, or is this Visage Familiar a weird faceless void kind of copy?
No, that's... Yeah, that's what that particular familiar looks like, yes.
I have never seen that one. That's pretty cool. There's good TP here from the clock. We'll force Blind out to the bottom side.
That's a smoke deep in your own territory. Not really anything aggressive coming from it. But at the very least, the aggressive vision from IHC is going to time out right now. So yeah, they need to smoke while they still get information.
Yeah, they know that they're in this mid lane, but it's very hard. Maybe you wait for the daytime, but now your smoke has expired, so you don't even get to take a good fight. Oh, mid lane. That's a dead Snapfire. Naga gets the song. I guess you don't want to fight. There's no buyback on the Snapfire, but they're not going to let you away. Good hook shot. Can they get the cogs? It will lock down the Naga in the midst of it as the Roar locking her in place. Force Staff to try and disengage. Do they have anything to save him? Akari is going to be taken away. They ignore this Aegis completely. Now the Morphling gets engulfed in flames. They're going to leave the Beastmaster for the end. They lose the Ember, but the price is so hefty here. Rupido versus the world, and there's no way. You're not the Beastmaster of this Ursa. I don't understand. This game is totally turned upside down now.
It has all of those cores sitting on top of each other, desperately trying to peel the Ursa off the Naga. Doesn't matter, he's got a Battle Fury, he's just gonna hit you all at the same time.
And yeah, I mean, the position there was definitely a bit uncomfortable for Blind Owl. Ursa, the cleave from the first kill pretty much killed the second hero.
Yep.
And alright,
But-
Kisses, they buy some time.
opening
No
jump
buybacks on
alone,
anyone.
like-
Radiant's middle barracks.
Fortune Soul just destroying
Radiant's middle
two heroes right off the bat there.
Out of you.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of a misclick apparently. And they get a free lane. I mean, imagine this. You're an Ursa draft. You're playing to Naga. They get the 2 Aegises. And somehow you get the first lane of barracks.
Yeah, you're the one to get
That's
the
so
first direct.
unlikely. Oh, man.
It's pretty wild. But his support crew is doing everything to enable him as well. There have been, I mean, the Gleipnir from the Visage to start the fight off, fantastic. The follow-up hook shot from the clock. So Kishka's like, yeah, I will put my body and soul on the line in order to keep that Naga from slithering out from under us. Fantastic.
and I
and Blind
think-
Owl is just scrambling.
One aspect that I think we didn't talk about in that fight, there is a Ghost Scepter on Boomy, but I think the bash from Fortune Soul actually killed him before he could even press that. He did stop for this Ghost Scepter, which is pretty good this game, but I think he actually got bashed.
No, very likely. I like how the map has pretty much reset immediately though, which is one of the reasons why this is such an unlikely outcome. There's 2 waves immediately back, shoved into IHC's face. Only the Clockwork split pushing on bot. So this is the Naga at the height of her power. Butterfly, hard.
Yeah. Looking for a fight, but as you said, this 2 Aegis is on Rapido. Maybe, you know, Rapido's mistake in his positioning, or maybe IHC just ignoring him. Both of them allowing IHC to not care at all about the Aegises they've gave away.
Alright, Ken. Can't find him.
Oh. So he's going BKB, huh? Haven't seen a lot of flow Morphlings going BKB. Not an easy game for this Morphling, even though he looked really good in the beginning.
It did, yeah, and you'd still think that, but it's an on paper kind of thing almost, and he's constantly pressing buttons as well. It feels like he's doing a lot, but
Dire's bottom tower is under
ultimately, between BKBs being available, all of the auras,
Oh my.
Ishka.
Radiant's top tower is under
Yeah, I think that is the aspect that's important. You want long fights when you're becoming December. You just want to be abusing the cooldown reduction as much as you can. But I see they're finding these openings where the fight is over as soon as they get the first target.
Yep. No, they have the one burst hero in this game, which is the Ursa, and that is the way that when you play the Agimorph, you usually works like, okay, I take somebody out first with the phylactery, we waveform, we take the manpower advantage, and then afterwards, you know, you get to fight the long fight where you absorb a bunch of damage, etc. And here, yeah, you can fight long fights into a Visage with all of the auras in the world. AC up now as well. But that's going to be even harder if, at the meantime, in their other hand, they have the threat of this Ursa just nuking somebody.
So is the goal here for HC to just control the map and get the 3rd Roshan? Or do you want to force something before that even?
Definitely worthwhile to go and look for some pickoffs here, because taking over the map isn't going to necessarily be an option for you depending on how Akari plays this. The map is still his if he wants it to be. Now, you did just get yourself an absolutely fantastic boon by getting the overclocking online. Look at how much vision Kishka is giving. They are combing every square pixel of this top lane to make sure the Naga is gone.
Yeah, that is true. Definitely allows you to hunt the Naga, to try and get some semblance of control, which they will have. Roshan's gonna be on the Dire side. Let's just see how long it will take. That's a pretty long one. Do you think it favors Blind now? Does it buy time for them to regain control?
In one way, yes. Which is that the longer this takes, there's pretty much always going to be two waves in favor of Blind Owl, and that is going to make sure that you slowly chip away at that net worth lead that IHC has. But on the other hand, I'm not entirely sure where you're going to go with scaling. The Naga's going to get a little stronger yet, going to upgrade into the Disperser and then into the Bloodthorn after. That's item scaling, but Naga is not the fight carry. It's got
They
good
did a lot of
contribution,
damage
but
to the mid tower here. This Ember is so afraid of actually dealing with the wave that like the mid tier 3 tower actually took 80% damage.
exactly. This is what those items are for. They're for the threat.
Yep.
For the threat of running into this Naga while you're by your lonesome or while you're with two. Fortune Soul sitting under his happy little tree in the pit.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna have to
Just,
sit here for another minute still. Let's see how patient he is. No, no. Angry
That's
roar.
bad for IHC. They definitely like they dealt with all the catapults.
bad.
They were finally ready to take Roshan. Now Blind Owl. They have the chance to. There's no vision, no dire wards. I guess there's one on this close to the corridor. That's the only one.
Morphing just bought BKB. Blind Owl is as ready to fight as they're ever gonna be.
Oh, it is a timeless relic morphling with Octarine, by the way. Just wanna
Oof.
leave it. I feel like I've been hyping up this morphling. If it just dies in 3 hits, I'm gonna be severely disappointed. But like, if there's gonna be a good morphling fight, it has to be this one.
I think he's definitely over the hill now in terms of like the mid game where you start dying, you keep dying. You got a BKB in your pocket, you got the Yules, you got a significant amount of HP built up with the stats from your Octarine as well. And yeah, look
At those
at
Naga
this,
illusions.
the
They've
waves.
forced everyone back.
Yeah. That long Roshan spawn, disastrous.
The 2 towers fall and now they get this Ember? Oh my god, they're finally back. They have buyback, but you've got to be very careful. Fortune Soul actually gets the Aegis as all of that's happening. So you gotta be careful. So who benefits from this? You get 2 towers and you kill the Ember, enemy team gets Aegis.
Rough to say. The thing is that IHC needs to... They're not going to get many attempts to strike. So the one time they do, it needs to be on the money.
Look at this Morphling, just going absolutely... the visage just doesn't move. They finally pop the pipe and looks like the enough is enough. 2 range barracks as well fell down because they... I guess even if you buy back this Ember, right? Can you even deal with the illusions? They are really annoying.
They are really annoying. I think you might be able to hold just because you have actual threat yourself now. You are able to force them into a proper fight. If you catch any of the supports, for example, but right now, IHC... If only they could have seen that Roshan respawn timer.
Yeah,
Dealt with their waves earlier.
this game.
Nuh-uh.
Radiant are scanning.
And surprisingly, despite all of this, like Blind Owl, they got 2 towers, 2 range barracks. How is IHC 11k go ahead? I honestly am confused as can. Becomes the Ember here. Hookshot actually only hits a creep wave. Waveform out as it looks like... Wait, how? Okay, the Morphling is dead. Boomy is gonna die as well again. It's IHC fighting the fights despite the map control being for Blind Owl.
Naga went in for the buildings.
Yep, did get a little bit of... That's actually range
There's a
barracks.
hookshot in
Can
5.
he get the Mega Song? TPL?
Kishka can create an angle.
Sour, you're in deep now.
Huh.
Oh, is this when you saw him take space to make sure he's not in the AoE so he can hit the hookshot to cancel that TP, and then that one Radiant creep gets in the way. What a bummer.
Yeah. This is one of the weirdest games I've cast. Because, like, both sides are kind of able to get something. And I don't even know who's... Like, there's a 15k goal lead on IHC, and I can't help but feel like they're not ahead.
No, because they specialize in such... These two lineups specialize in such different things, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this Naga, like with her... I mean, her init is Eelskin, right? She is so slippery. And those lanes are constantly going to be shoved, and all you want is an opportunity to leverage all the blunt force of that Ursa at the enemy base.
Right.
And there, yeah, Fortune Soul knows. We're not going to get
Okay.
many shots.
Yeah, they want to go to the land. They really want to end this. Glyph is going to be forced. They don't have buyback on the Snapfire.
They have
That
a
is
banner.
Okay. BKB on Torpedo looking for an engagement. Four step away from the Enchantress. The kisses are hurting despite
Ursa
the
dying.
pipe, and they will get the first life. Good chains from Ken. Locking 3 heroes in place here as he's just going ham on the backlines. He will be killed without a buyback though. This could be spelling the end for Blind Owl as IHC still has everyone alive. 77 seconds. Okay. Song for Disengage. What do we even do here though? They break the Lincolns. They're just buying time.
Yeah.
Illusions moving forward. The Ursa wrecks the Snapfire. There's no buyback. This Naga is gonna be gone. The buyback means nothing. The song is gone. Beastmaster falls, and I feel like IHC might have done it. The Naga is just trying to cut the waves. Stop the Naga, no. Just hit the throne.
Hit that throne.
There we
End
go.
it
Beastmaster.
for yourself.
You're not gonna stop this. Okay. So yes, not only IHC wins this, they now secure a place in the second stage. Right now, you know, they don't care. Besides the fact that they would be probably one of the first teams to ever get a 10-0 on the Relog league. Are you impressed by IHC? Do you think that's let's say taking this 1-1, is this more than you expected?
No, this is about where they should be. If they're in like a recovery arc from some of the indecisiveness that we've seen from some of the, you know, especially the decision at the end here to go for the throne because they know that in the clash they are stronger, because they know that they're not getting another opportunity if they don't push it right now. That is the IHC that I wanted to see all this time, and we've got them back. There were certainly some stumbles in this game. This was not an easy one. Blind Owl was not about to hand it to them either. That was some pretty darn impressive map play as well. So, yeah, deserved spot in the playoff for IHC in the end.
Yeah, you know, at the beginning of this RES4, I look at how the standings were, and some of them were not updated because a lot of the teams kind of broke down into newer teams, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be kind of boring because no one's really fighting for anything. But now you actually look at who qualified, and there are a lot of storylines here. Anyone that gets first place besides Young and Galacticos, they're not going through. Besides Ascent, can actually potentially qualify. So this is going to be a very fun, interesting battle. Team TK, Blind Owl, IHC, Outcast, all in contention here. This is going to be a hell of a second stage for this tournament, Gibbs.
Fantastic playoffs, yeah. Like all of the teams that were still in contention for the LAN making it in here with Team TK and IHC squeezing in right at the end.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for Manta because they gave us some amazing performances at the end of the group stage here. They did really well, and they did everything they could to keep themselves in contention, but ultimately IHC squeezes past.
I mean, it was a hard squeeze. They had the toughest opponents they could have, and they're gonna have to probably face them again if they want to go through, because if anyone actually gets first place besides IHC, or whoever gets first place is going through, Team Tough, obviously, if they get first place, they're going to deny everyone else out of a chance. I guess Team TK could get second place. Just looking here, they have 71 points, so if they get 50, they are probably the only team that can afford to get second place. Everyone else needs to pretty much take the whole tournament.
But they'll still
it's going to be
that
awesome.
shot.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have the games, happening very soon, guys. So make sure you follow the channel. Make sure you stay tuned because it is going to be a bloodbath, and that's only the first fourth iteration of the league. We still have Europe and SA to go, so stay tuned. Kips, thank you so much for having me here, production as well. We are gonna say farewell, but we'll be back very, very soon.
One chance. One dream. One match. One energy. One fight. One aim. One action. One hope. One expert.
Fuck.
Use your skills into gaming. 1xBet.